Antonia, darling.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for coming tonight on this cold and windy,
Blustery
fall night. And thank you, AnArte, for hosting this show. I feel very excited and honored to be here. And this is my second solo show with AnArte, and we've had a working relationship for quite a few years. So it's really nice to continue that and be able to have this receptive audience here in San Antonio. So thank you for coming. So I titled this show Offerings because I just felt like, you know, I wanted to just put it out there, just like to give my viewers my emotions, what I'm going through, my transformations that I've been going through the last couple of years. And I really just was feeling, you know, let me just put it out there, you know, and see who relates to it, who it resonates with. And so most of these paintings and sculptures are about transitions and transformations and emergence and coming out from the dark to the light, and where we find ourselves from one point to the next and in between, you know, in those changes. And a lot of these paintings are also about journeys, you know, and going into another realm, you know, more of like a atmospherical, spiritual realm, and maybe leaving this earthly place into whatever's happening up here, or, you know, whatever like great stuff you're smoking that night. So that works too. But anyway, so some of these paintings are, I start with heavily textured background. For example, that one. I build the background up. I start with acrylic, and then I build it up with oil paint, and sometimes I can sand it or graphite on, and in some cases gold leaf. And the ones on the boards I can really be rough with and really work forward and backwards and keep layering. And I'm in Santa Fe, so the oils dry very quickly. Like within hours, it's tacky. The next day, it's dry, really dry. So I know that's quite different here in San Antonio. But and then some of the pieces are very smooth. Like for example, this one and that the three parts there. They have very smooth texture to it, and I build up the image with the rendering the figure instead of using the texture. So, and I'm a sculptor initially, so I really like that three-dimensionality in the paintings and bringing that out. I mean, really, this is a great example of just like, hey, let's make this as three-dimensional as I can, you know, and I think it's playful and it's fun, and it, you know, it gives depth to the piece, and hopefully, you know, the viewer will take more time when there is that depth perception. So, and then I also printed this poetry book. Probably not going to read a poem tonight, but I could if you wanted to. So some of those poems in there relate to the paintings and vice versa. Some of the poems I wrote first, and then did some imagery second, and then sometimes I did it the other way around. So it's been a really nice medium to work with, and I never wrote before, so this is all new, and it's interesting how it's all coming out. But it's a great other venue to be creative and put my thoughts on paper. So. Anyway, does anyone have any questions?
How much gold leaf does it take you for those original ones?
So those ones down there, probably almost a full pack. You know, they come in these very thin leaves. Yeah. And basically you can't have a window open, you can't have a fan on, you can't sneeze.
I was just going to say, how do you control it?
Yeah, so
it's very difficult.
Yeah. So what I usually do is I get the surface slightly sticky, and then I just the gold leaf sheets come on a piece of paper, and so I just take them together and then I just put it down and rub it. So I don't try and like take it off and then place it down.
So are you full of gold leaf after it's done?
It's
The golden woman.
it's everywhere.
Carlos wants to be gold leaf.
Yeah, I can do that.
He's asking you something indirectly.
I can do that.
Yeah?
No, it's everywhere. It's on
Gold
the
leaf
cat,
Carlos
you know,
with a K.
It's all over the house.
The
And
K
it
is
does
for
that here,
carrots.
It does stay there.
Oh yeah, it stays. When I use this adhesive spray,
A sealer.
and then I will seal the pieces. So yeah, and then I paint on top of the gold leaf, which you're not really supposed to do, but I do. I do lots of things against the rules. So.
Can you tell us more about your underlying Vegas theme that we see in your
Well, I mean, I guess it's relating to life. Basically, I'm not a big Vegas fan, so that's not it. But you know, just taking a gamble and the choices that we make, the big choices that we make in life, and also like all the little choices that we make during the day, you know, that add up over time. But it's choices, consequences, right? So it's that like what do we get? We just put it out there and see what happens, or plan, or you know, up to you, right? How you're gonna deal with that. So you know, it's just an interesting concept. Like, well, if I did this, then my life would be totally different. I wouldn't have these children. I wouldn't, you know, it resonates very, very deeply with me. So.
All right, what about Andrea? Why don't you talk about the wings? Like the wings and the...
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to lead into anything, so just...
So I did wings initially in the 80s, and then this theme is kind of peeks through every once in a while. I did it quite a bit in the 80s and 90s, and my work was in a movie called Castaway that featured my wings, and then I designed the sculptures that were on the artists, the set of the artists in the movie, and after that I kind of didn't really do wings anymore, but every once in a while they come back,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, this show actually has a lot of wings in it.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah, so it gives the figure, like in that piece right there, the white angel, it just gives the figure like a whole other feel to it.
Right.
You know, all I did was put wings on it, and it just creates this whole other being and takes it to a different level, and a different thought.
You use blue a lot.
Yes, I do.
Why?
Well, I like blue.
Really?
My favorite
And it's calming, it's peaceful.
Do you have a favorite piece of this collection?
In this show, I would probably say maybe this Loves Me
Yeah.
Not piece. And then the last piece I did that I just finished was the Girl on the Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
That was an interesting piece because I kept it very, very loose, but it actually took me so much longer than some of these more rendered pieces.
Yeah.
And so that was an interesting exercise. I thought, wow, I just whipped this out. You know, this will be easy because I'm just going to keep it loose. But I worked on that thing for weeks. I'm like, this just is not working. Doesn't look right. And I couldn't believe it because I really thought it would be like, oh, it's the last piece. I'll be done with this really soon. So that one kicked me and taught me a lesson for sure. So that I'm grateful for that piece, and I respect that lesson for the future. So.
What prompted you to take a step into poetry?
You know, I didn't really choose it. This sounds so cliche and silly, but I don't like writing. I didn't like writing at all. It never occurred to me to write other than like my art statements and bio and sort of dry things like that. But it just came to me one day. It just was like this really subtle little thing happened, and I wrote that down. And then it just kind of took this life of its own. Like it really surprised me. Like I had no idea that this is what I wanted to do. So thank you.
Oh, Erin, you are.
It's you know, sometimes it's like 5-10 minutes, and I'll sit down and something will just come out, or I'll wake up with a line, or I'll you know, something will just stay with me, you know, and I'll write it down, and it really is almost like it's just happening through me. And I read these poems, I'm like, I didn't write that. Who wrote this shit?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I would have to get my glasses.
And these are on sale for $20, right?
Blair.
Just making sure. We'll have a question.
Phone or
Yeah, no, fine, fine.
Right.
Good.
Okay,
It's
so,
marketing 101.
for example, this one, when I wrote this, it made me want to do an image. Well, I thought of a lot of images, but the main image was this mouth with pearls coming out of it, and I also did a piece on work on paper over there. So, and these things really happened to me. Like, I was in a hotel, and in Vail, with the door open, and the magpie was just screaming at 5 a.m. I'm like, God damn it, shut up! And so then, that morning I just wrote about it. So I don't know, these things just appear, and then I have to write. So this one's called The Magpie's Call. The magpie's call woke me this morning. It went out from the treetop to her brothers and sisters, without consideration for the sleepers below. I was dreaming of an ocean in my mouth. The high tide flowed past my lips, over the pillow, rushing to the hotel floor, with it bringing treasures from a deep place. Some I didn't know about, some I kept selfishly hidden. The pearls would not stop, though. Miles and miles of pure, hard white, spewing out past teeth, sliding over tongue and lips. Too much treasure for one person or 1,000. I know you did not plan for me to wake up to so much beauty, leaving you in my shadow. And I'll read one more. I had my book with all the little things turned down, but actually, like this one I wrote about a ranch I had in Wyoming once. This ranch was a family place that had a lot of dreams that we left there. So it stuck with me, that place, and stuck with my kids too. It wasn't my choice to be there, but I made it work. Okay, it's called That High and Dusty Place. You took me to that high and dusty place, silent except for the constant wind. It would be good for us, you said. Tracks and scat, missing teeth, that general store, half empty shelves and blank stairs. We found a dead elk once above the house. She had been shot and dragged, her broken body up the little hill. She died slowly there. Then a wolf killed by the pond the next spring. That was a story on the ground. Bloodied snow and loose fur. He did not go down easy. So.
Wow.
That was